Hi everybody and welcome to Intro to Accounting 1. I'm Professor Quinn, and part 1 of this orientation video I'm going to walk you through the resources and information that you can find on Blackboard throughout the semester. And in part 2 I'm going to walk you through how we're going to be using a website called Cengagenow. So one of the things that you'll find when you first log in is that you will be brought to the announcements page. So every week on Monday, I'll be sending out an announcement reminder of all the assignments that are due that week and any other announcements I might have for the class. Those announcements also get emailed directly to your NACC email address, so please make sure that you are checking that email frequently throughout the semester, as that is how I'm going to be communicating with all of you throughout the semester. So the first announcement you're going to see is going to tell you to come to this Read Me First section. So under the Read Me First section, you're going to find some very important information about how to get started in the class. I have a few reminders here at top. The first is that for emails, I have disabled the Blackboard email link. The reason that I've done that is that if you email me through that Blackboard email, your email only lives in Blackboard. It doesn't come to my NACC email address. So unless I log into Blackboard, I don't actually see your email. And I like to get back to my students as quickly as possible. So please make sure you're emailing me using the email address that I've provided in the syllabus. Over here on the left-hand side, you'll see a link called My Grades. All of your grades for the semester will be posted here. So for every homework assignment, lecture assignment, quiz, and test, all of your grades will be here as well as on Cengagenow. So they'll actually live in both places. Under this discussions link, you're going to find 2 discussions posts that are going to be available to you throughout the entire semester. So the first one is called Have a Question. So if you're sitting home late one night working on your homework assignments and you've watched the videos that are in Cengagenow, you've read through the textbook, you've checked your work, and you're still having some struggles with the information, and you know it's late enough that I won't be responding right away to you, you can actually post your question here, and maybe one of your classmates can assist you. Please note that this is only for homework questions. It's not for quiz or test questions, so please be mindful of that. Please also send me an email with your question just in case someone can't answer your question for you. I want to make sure that your question does get answered, so please post it there and email me as well. Also, on the other side, if you are working on a chapter and you're finding that it's coming pretty easily to you and you're feeling confident with the information and you're working on your homework assignment one night, pop in here and see if there's any questions that maybe you can help out one of your classmates. The other discussion post that you will find that's available to you throughout the semester is something called Piece of Advice. So while you're going through the semester, share with your classmate what is your best piece of advice for being successful in this class. So maybe you're finding that there's a certain study tool that's really helping you, or you're doing practice sets before taking the exams, and that's really been helping you prepare and do well in those exams. Whatever it is, post it here so that your classmates can learn from what's been successful for you. And also visit it every once in a while and see what's working well for your classmates. Maybe you forgot about one of the resources that are available on Cengagenow, and your classmate might tell you that it's been working really well for them, and you can try that out as well. So those 2 are both available to you. So there are 8 tasks that you need to complete in order to get started in the class. So first and foremost, you need to watch both of these orientation videos. They are very informative and will give you a great overview of these 2 websites, so please watch them completely. You're also going to want to read through the syllabus that is below, and then you're going to sign and date the syllabus agreement form and submit it to me. This is your first graded homework assignment. You'll then want to read and print out both the printable calendar and the detailed homework test and quiz schedule that's provided to you below, because it has all of the due dates and times for every assignment, quiz, and test this semester. So it's really important for yourself to stay on track in this class. So having that calendar and that detailed schedule is really going to be vital for that. You're then going to introduce yourself to your classmates using the discussion link below and respond to at least 2 of your classmates' introductions. You're then going to complete the syllabus scavenger hunt quiz just to make sure you haven't missed any of the important information that was included in the syllabus. You're then going to click on the Cengagenow link at the left-hand side of the top of the screen, and you're going to follow the instructions to get registered into our Cengagenow course. And then you're going to complete the first 2 video Cengagenow assignments that are starting for you. So down here, you're going to find some very important information. This is where you're going to find the syllabus, the printable calendar, and that detailed homework quiz and test schedule. So the calendar you can print out in here. It has the due dates for every assignment that you have, every quiz, and every test. You will notice that for every chapter of assignments, you have 2 weeks to complete those assignments as well as either a quiz or a test. So please be very mindful of this. I'm giving you 14 days to work on this information because there's a lot covered in every chapter. I know all of you are taking other classes, have families, or working, so I'm allowing you to decide when it best fits your schedule to work on your assignments. So whether that's during the day when your kids are at school, at night after they go to bed, on the weekends, whatever the case may be, I'm giving you that opportunity to decide and carve out time for you to work on this class. So even the weeks that you do not have assignments, you should absolutely be still working on those assignments that are due the following week. There's a reason why I give you such an extended period of time to work on these assignments. Accounting 101 is like learning a new language. We're going to be talking about things that you've never talked about, probably in any other class, things like assets and liabilities and owner's equity and balance sheets and income statements and FIFO and LIFO. So you want to make sure you're putting yourself in a really great position to do well in this course. If you try to get all of your assignments due on that one day, you are going to absolutely run out of time. I will warn you of that up front. So do not put yourself in that bad position. Make sure you are carving time out every single week as if you actually had to come to class to work on this course. It is the college's policy that for every 3-credit course, which this is, you should be spending on average 6 hours per week doing work on the course outside of the classroom. So since we don't meet face-to-face, that's between 6 and 7 hours worth of work per week. So you really need to budget that into your schedule every week to be working on these assignments. You also have a very detailed homework, quiz, and test schedule. At the top, I provide you a lot of nice reminders. So make sure, again, you're printing this out, have it out on your desk, hang it up on your refrigerator, whatever works for you to make sure you're staying on top of your assignments. You do have the ability to actually get ahead in this class. So if you know you have a busy work week coming up or February vacations coming and your kids have that week off and you'd like to have that week off as well, get your assignments done ahead of time. You have that ability to do that. All of your assignments you'll see down here become available to you on the 15th of January. So again, you have the ability to get ahead. However, you do have to complete the assignments in the order shown. So every assignment is a prerequisite for the next assignment. So you have to receive a 72.5% or better on every assignment in order for the next assignment to become available to you. So for example, the Chapter 1 lecture assignment, you have to pass with a minimum of 72.5 in order for that Chapter 1 homework assignment, Part 1, to become available. On the lecture assignments, you have 2 attempts. And what these lecture assignments are, they're short videos that are going to be talking about specific learning objectives in the chapter. And there's going to be some questions that you have to answer regarding the video that you just watched. This is a wonderful opportunity to hear about the terminology, to see some examples on these learning objectives before you go ahead and start working on the homework assignments. So treat this as if you would get a lecture in class in a face-to-face class. So really take advantage of these. For your homework assignments, which is where you're going to be applying what you've learned in those lecture assignments, you actually have 3 attempts on those assignments in order to get to that 72.5% or better. Also, you do have the option of retaking it just to improve your grade. So for example, on that Chapter 1 homework assignment, Part 1, if you take your first attempt and you get a 74, you've met that minimum requirement and that next homework assignment will open for you. But if you want to have the opportunity to improve that grade, you can actually take it for a second time. And on that second attempt, if you get an 87, that 87 will count for you in the class rather than the 74. Any attempt that is submitted by the due date and time, anyone that the highest of any of those attempts will count for your grade. So for example, if you ended up taking the Part 1 assignment on the 26th of January and getting that 87% grade, it wouldn't count for you since it's after that due date. but any attempts that are submitted by the due date and time, your highest grade on each one of those assignments will count for you in this class. This is another very good reason to get started on these assignments ahead of time so that you can make your homework grade a very strong grade for you at the end of the semester. Also, in order to access a quiz or a test, you have to receive a 72.5% or better on the assignment that's listed prior to it. So for example, on quiz number 1 for chapter 1, you have to have a 72.5% or better on the chapter 1 homework assignment part 3 in order to access that quiz. You do not have to get a certain grade on every quiz or test. So for example, when you've passed homework assignment 3 for chapter 1, it's going to open quiz number 1 and it's going to open chapter 2 lecture assignment part 1. So just be mindful of that as well. I give you some reminders of when you should and should not hit the submit button in Cengage Now. I'll get a little bit more into that in our part 2 of that orientation video. I give you some information on when the correct answers become available to you for those lecture assignments. Homework assignments, you can see the correct answers the minute that you submit those assignments. If you miss an assignment, meaning you do not submit it on time and you have not requested an extension, you will still have to complete that missed assignment before the next one will become available to you, but you will not receive credit for that assignment. I allow every student 2 homework extensions during the semester, and each extension is good for 1 individual assignment. You have to email me before the due date and time has passed, and you will be granted a 24-hour extension. So for example, if you need an extension on the chapter 1 homework assignment part 3, as long as you've emailed me before January 24th at 11:55 p.m., you would be given a 24-hour extension. It only works on lecture and homework assignments. It does not work for quizzes and tests, and it only covers 1 specific assignment. It does not cover an entire chapter's worth of assignments, so please be mindful of that. Once you start a quiz or test, you do have to complete it, and they are timed. I do give you plenty of time to complete them, so there's no reason to feel rushed, and really make sure you read those questions carefully. I cannot stress enough the importance of actually studying for your exams. If you do not study for your exams and think that you're going to have enough time to flip through videos or your notes to try to find the answers and figure out how to do the problems, you are going to run out of time very quickly. So really prepare for those exams like you would if you had to come into the class and actually take it. Once you've submitted your quiz or exam, you will see your overall score for that item. However, the correct answers will be available to you the day after the due date, starting at 7 p.m. And again, I give you the information here on how to access that. For your quizzes, you're actually allowed to take your quizzes twice. So the highest score actually counts for your grade in the class. After you take your first attempt, again, you'll be able to see your score and you'll be able to see which questions you got correct and incorrect. Take that opportunity to really go through your homework, the text, notes, to see if you can figure out why your answer was incorrect and figure out what the correct answer should be. Then you'll be better prepared for when you take the exam on the second attempt. When you do take your exam for the second time, you will not have the same exact questions as your first attempt, but they will be similar. So the only assignment that you're allowed to only take once are your exams. They are a one-time thing. Everything else you can take 2 or 3 times. And again, I cannot stress enough the importance of actually studying for your exams and preparing before you go ahead and take them. For the syllabus, the top you'll find all of my contact information, and there's my email address that you can use to get in touch with me at any time. Accounting 27th edition is the textbook that we'll be using. It is available at the bookstore, or you can buy it online, but you'll also need a Cengagenow access code, and I'll get into some textbook purchasing options in a moment. In terms of emails, again, please make sure you're using your NACC email address to email me, because that is how I'm going to be emailing all of you. Also, I've had students in the past email me using a personal email address, and it's never actually gotten to me because it's gone into my spam folder. So please make sure you're using your NACC email address. In terms of grading, those lecture and homework assignments that I just talked to you about are going to count as 30% of your total grade. So again, this is why I cannot stress enough the importance of working on those assignments during the weeks that you don't actually have any assignments due, so that you can retake assignments if you need to or want to, because that 30% is completely in your hands of whether it's going to be an A or an F at the end of the semester. So really take advantage of the fact that a significant portion of your grade is in your hands to positively affect. Quizzes, combined, you have 4 quizzes and they will make up 10% of your overall grade. And then you'll have 4 tests making up the remaining 60%. Each test is on 2 chapters. Your lowest test grade of the 4 will count for 10%. Your highest will count for 20%, and the remaining 2 tests will count for 15% each. I do not offer any extra credit assignments ever. The reason why I don't is because I give you 30% of your grade through the form of homework to positively affect, which is more than any extra credit assignment would ever give you. So really take advantage of that. Make sure you're budgeting time correctly every week to be working on these assignments so that you can make sure you're getting credit for every assignment that you do. In terms of makeup tests, I generally do not give them out of fairness for everybody else who is prepared to take the exam by the scheduled date and time. However, if there is a situation that is preventing you from taking the exam on the scheduled date, please let me know as soon as possible, and I will consider giving you an extension or a makeup exam. So don't wait weeks or days to get in touch with me, because then it will in fact be too late. If you are having trouble in this class, please get extra help as soon as possible. Every chapter is going to build on what you've learned in the previous chapter. So if you're struggling in the beginning, don't wait until chapters 4 or 5 to finally get some extra help, because you'll already feel so lost, and I don't want anyone to get to that point. You can come meet with me. You can use the wonderful resources that I'm going to show you that are available to you on Cengagenow. And we also have wonderful tutors that are going to be available on the Haverhill campus in our Business and Accounting Academic Center in C201. Please note that you do have to receive a C or better, which is a 73% or better in this course, in order to move on to Accounting 102. So once you've read through all of that information, you're going to come down here and you're going to click on this syllabus agreement document. You're going to type in your name and date. You'll follow the instructions right down here, and you're going to use this blue link to upload your syllabus agreement form to me. You're then going to click here and take the syllabus scavenger hunt quiz, and then you'll introduce yourself to your classmates, and please make sure you do respond to at least 2 of your classmates' introductions by Sunday, January 21st. Again, over here in the discussions link, you will find that you can get to the introducing yourself to the class as well. You can list your question here, and again, your best piece of advice. You'll notice that there's already 4 posts in here. Those 4 posts were left by students that have already completed this course, and they are leaving for you what they found to be the best tool to help them be successful in this class. So take advantage of learning from your peers who have already taken the course, see what they found to be helpful, and then post yours throughout the semester when you find that there is something there for you that you feel really helps you better understand the material or better prepare for a quiz or an exam. Again, all of your grades will be listed here. The tutoring schedule for the spring will be posted here as soon as it becomes available. And then Cengagenow is a website where you're going to complete all of your assignments, lecture and homework, your quizzes, and your exams this semester. It's a wonderful tool that has a lot of resources built in, and I will be getting into all of those in part 2 of this orientation video. In order to log into Cengagenow and to get registered, I have provided you a quick start guide that you can follow that has screenshots of what you're going to see when you start logging in. You have to click on this link, and you are going to either log into your Cengagenow account if you've already have one, or if you're not, you're going to create an account. And then you're going to have some options. So you're either going to enter your access code. This would be the one that would be packaged with your textbook if you purchased it at the bookstore. You can then purchase an access code directly through that link, If you don't want to buy the textbook and you're fine just using the ebook that's available through Cengagenow, you can do that. You can also just buy an access code through the bookstore. So if you have a book voucher that you want to use and you don't want to have the physical textbook and you would like to use the ebook, you can purchase that access code directly through the bookstore as well. If you're unsure if you're going to like the ebook, or you're waiting for your book voucher to come in, or your next paycheck, you can actually do the 14-day free trial, which will give you access to all of the assignments that you have in Cengagenow, as well as the ebook. If you're looking online, I know everyone's trying to find the cheaper version. If you can, looking online to find a cheaper access code, please email it to me first before purchasing it. There are several different types of access codes for this textbook, and most of them will not work with this course. So please email it to me first. I'll take a look at it, make sure it's going to work with our course before you go ahead and buy it. If you're having any trouble at all throughout the entire semester with Cengage, whether either it's accessing your code, if it's purchase options, if it's an account question, you can actually click on this link and contact Cengage support that is available to you 24/7. Also, you don't have to log into Blackboard every time you want to access Cengagenow. So jot down this website right here, cengagebrain.com. That is how you'll be logging into Cengage after you initially register in. So this is the end of part 1. Part 2, we're going to get into all of the features of Cengagenow.